Every year, 20 lucky students from Denmark, Greenland, and the United States are elected to go to KANGERLUSSUAQ as a part of the Joint Science Education Program. We are 4 of those lucky students, so for the last week, we've been studying the biodiversity in Kanger while having the best time of our lives. What we are interested in is finding out how the animals affect the landscape.
A lot of people think that it is the big mammals that cause the most change in the landscape, but sometimes small animals can have a really big impact. 5 years ago, an outbreak of the Ares occulta caterpillar species changed the landscape dramatically. The caterpillar eats lots of different plants, including one of the most dominant shrub species in Greenland, the dwarf birch. This is how the landscape looked 2 years after the outbreak, and this is how it looks now in 2016. Note the patches of dead birds in the picture from 2013 and the birds coming back through the dead birds in the picture from 2016. We asked ourselves, how does the caterpillar defoliation affect the plant and insect diversity?
Before doing the observations, we had 3 hypotheses. The first one was that there would be less plant and insect diversity in the eaten area because the caterpillars ate the shrubs. The second hypothesis was that the diversity would be the same because the birds would come back or a new species would take its place. The third hypothesis was that the bare patch after the caterpillars ate the shrubs would create an opportunity for new plant species to arrive, so there would be a higher diversity.
To get an answer to our question, we used flags to mark 16 quadrats measuring 2 by 2 meters in both eaten and non-eaten areas. In the plots, we identified the different plant species. Afterwards, we collected the insects in the areas using the bug vacuum and sorted the insects using an aspirator. We separated out the insects and identified them.
Looking at the plant diversity data, we could see that there was a lot less vegetation in the eaten areas because the shrubs did not have enough time to grow back since the defoliation 5 years ago. The number of plant species in the non-eaten area is roughly the same as in the eaten area, but the interesting part is that the plant species are more even in the eaten area. Evenness in plants mean that there is the same amount of each species in an area. Notice how there's the same amount of species in both areas, but in the non-eaten area, the A species is dominating and there is lower evenness.
This supports our third hypothesis because the defoliation of the shrubs created an opportunity for some of the less dominant plant species, so the area is now more even. There is almost the same amount of insect species in the eaten area and the non-eaten area, but there is almost 4 times as many insects in the non-eaten area. This could be because a lot of the insects found in the non-eaten area, like the leafhopper and small spiders, are more comfortable in a more vegetated area or because they prefer to eat the birch. Therefore, we can conclude that the third hypothesis was true. The non-eaten area was more diverse because the bare patch left behind after the caterpillar outbreak created a new environment with more evenness, although the insects did not adapt to the new areas because of the lack of birch.